Okay, then we will discuss innovation types. So, under this lecture, we have to discuss the different types of innovation. What is innovation and invention categories, open and closed innovation dimension, and company innovation potentials. Actually, most of the contents we discussed in the previous two lectures. Anyway, we will discuss the theories of the innovation. So, broader classification of the innovation, we can classify the innovation at this called the jumper classification: product, process, input, technology, and organization innovation. I explained in the previous lecture also what is product innovation, what is process innovation, inputs actually materials, then technology innovation. We can find this technology innovation and also organization innovation. Here in the technology innovation, uh, business re-engineering, business process re-engineering, BPR is uh, BPR says the existing process can be make a radical changes of the existing process. In that time, we can introduce the technology for that one. Also, automation of the existing technologies, not the business process re-engineering. Sometimes you can use some innovations for re-engineering the business process and introduce the technology for that. And normally 4 P's of the innovations, because start with P, and product, process, position, and paradigm innovation. So there are two types of categories, uh, and most of these categories can be found the similar things. And once again, we can categorize this innovation: sustaining innovation and disruptive innovation. What are the sustaining innovations and what are the disruptive innovations? When you analyze the product and services in the market, you can find some well matured products. When you consider the car market also, cars, analyze the different cars, you can find the high end cars, the Rolls Royce or its Benz, BMW. And when you go to the more expensive cars, they are well matured and uh, also high expensive. But there are some cars, the Alto, Maruti, and Mahindra, and you can see those are the vehicles also, but those products are going to be sold in lower price, not like the BMW and Benz. And when you go to the market also, wristwatches, analyze the wristwatches. Sometimes you can find the wristwatches for the 2 3 millions also. When you want to buy a Rolex handmade watch, sometimes you will have to explain 2 3 millions, but you can find the watch for the 1,000 or 2,000 rupees also. But both of these watches show the time. There are some products the people like to use because they can get the extra benefit. That means the prestige of the product, having the using the Benz car, or uh, using the having the Rolex watch. The people think that he's a rich, or he is a company president, or likewise get the different benefit from that. So the sustained products are more expensive than the disruptive products. Disruptive products actually address the low end customers, not the high end customers. The low end customers, they want to get the work done. They are highly concerned the price, and sometimes it can only be used for 2 3 years. Then they have to buy a new one once again. But the sustaining products, they can those products can be used for a longer time than the disruptive product. So when you consider the sustaining better products that can be sold with a higher margin to the demanding customers, normally called the incumbent win. So that when you consider the Benz or BMW car, very expensive than the normal cars, but it will provide the comfortability, safety, reliability, uh, and all the additional things also will be provided by that one. And but when you consider the low end vehicle, you can't find something the even though those cars may have the high fuel consumption, but sometimes the comfortability is not there, safety was not there, is not there. So always the sustaining products can be sold with a higher margin and demanding customers. Then focus on demanding customers, both incremental and radical. Sometimes this sustaining product may have the incremental or the radical thing. Incremental means develop the using the new technology, and users can get the modified benefit. The disruptive innovations, actually commercialization is simpler. So commercialization is simpler means the low end customers always find these products more user friendly products, so that you can find some user friendly characteristics, and which are cheap and targeted to the new or less demanding customers. This we call the new entrance to the market. So when you I think you have gone to the discounted shops. So discounted shops, you can't find the brand, but you can get the items that you want to get, fulfill a certain task that you expect, but you can't find the brand name or the brand. So the sustained product always have the high brand name and the brand name, and disruptive products you can't find those disruptive products. And when you analyze the disruptive products or the sustained products, the early stage of the sustained product is the disruptive, and by developing and introducing new technologies, it will gradually continue to the disruptive one. Okay, normally called. So introduce the product and services not as advanced as existing one, but offering other advantages: simpler, cheaper, more user friendly, and focus on new or less demanding customers. When you analyze this diagram, you can understand the disruptive innovation can be the disruptive ones by developing it can be when the disruptive products are developed, then they have the certain customer segment for that one, and it will gradually introduce to the become to the sustaining products. So with the performances at the time can be converted to the sustaining product. So two types of disruption: new market and low end. So introducing this disruptive product, we can find a new market that compete with non-consumption, that is simpler, more user-friendly, can be used by less sophisticated PC, transistor radios, desktop copiers, likewise. So when you consider this, personal computers, actually some of them are trying to buy some branded products, but some of the users, they never consider about the brand. They want to get the work, their expected work done from that product. They are going to buy because those products are very cheap. And even in my university period also, we used to assemble the computer by getting the parts. We never go behind the product, branded products or the Dell or HP or Apple or anything. So we want to assemble the computer as cheap as we can, so that uh, we get these items and uh, we get these devices, processor, hard disk, motherboard, and also the system box, and assemble the products and create a computer, develop the computer. So there is no brand and cheaper, and we could get the work, our uh, development work uh, from that assembled computer. But when you consider the branded products, if we get that branded product, we have to spend sometimes 200-300 rupees, but within less than 100,000 rupees we could assemble the computer. The low end means the focus on the lower tiers of main market, and normally we can find this in the discounted shops. Then what is the open and close innovation? Open and close innovation, actually, open innovation, the new imperative of for creating and profiting from technology. The concept is related to the user innovation, cumulative innovation, know-how trading, mass innovation, and distributed innovation. That means the company, if the company uh, motivate the external people to do the innovation, then uh, give to the company, and the company can market their innovation. So they may have the agreement with the external parties, and they can come to the agreement with the external parties and commercialize from the company, and uh, finally they do the profit sharing. That is called the open innovation model. In the new model of the open innovation, the company commercialize both its own ideas as well as innovations innovations from other firms, and seek ways to bring its in-house ideas to market by developing pathways outside its current businesses. So then both parties can get the advantages. Company can get the advantages by increasing their profits, as well as the external parties can sell their items with the company name. Okay, then both parties can get the advantages. Both parties can get the advantages. You when you see that model, there is no any limitations. So research will be done by the external parties also, the inside the research group, as well as the external parties, and promote the product in the company, so that they can find the new market, and also they have the current market also. From these new innovations they can find the new market, so that they can increase the profit. And next one is closed innovation. This innovation happen in the closed environment, often performed by the individual scientists or the employees. The company are not encouraging the outside people to do the innovation. There is a reason for that one. For an example, nuclear technology. Okay, then the closed innovation, actually this innovation happen in the closed environment, performed by the individuals and scientists of the R&D, especially R&D department in the company. Consider the product like this, the nuclear developing the nuclear technology and nuclear weapons, and also arms and ammunitions. And the company will not encourage the external person for this one, because if those technology goes to the society, it will be a very dangerous for the country or the society, so that they never encourage the outsiders to develop. So such like of there are some products that can only be developed in the in-house environment. Even when you consider the Microsoft operating systems, they develop in the closed environment. They are not going to get the development. They are not going to involve the external computer scientist for their operating system development. So, the but when you consider the Unix operating system, that is completely different, because at the first stages of the Unix operating system, the external most of the computer scientists in the world contributed to develop that Unix operating system. That's why that is the open source. So this is a closed innovation. In the closed innovation, a company generates, develops, and commercializes its own ideas. This philosophy of the self-reliance dominated the R&D operations of many leading industrial corporations for most of the 20th century. When you consider the hybrid technology, even the hybrid technology was developed in the closed environment by the Toyota car manufacturing company, and they introduced to the market. So they are the only if they introduce the new technology from this closed innovation, they could get the high market share. And when you compare the open and closed innovation, the closed innovation, see, first, all the best people are working. The closed innovation, they get the most experienced as well as qualified people for this. But the open innovation, not all the best people are working from them. Not all the best people are working from. They must work with clever people, with the outside of the company. The clever people, those who have some innovative ideas, can encourage to contribute to the company. And R&D create the profit only when they invent, develop, and market everything themselves. So that R&D department, this company have the strong R&D department. When you consider Toyota company, as I explained before, there are 1,000 PhD whole engineers are doing researches in the R&D section. Consider, you can find some sophisticated labs better than the universities. So external R&D can create the remarkable values. To employ it, they need sophistication capacity of an internal R&D. So next one, closed innovation. If they develop the product themselves, they will be the first on the market. So if they innovate new things, they will be the first. Consider the hybrid technology and other technology. The Toyota companies are the first on the market. They will be the first on the market. But open innovation, R&D can create the profit even if they do not initialize perform in themselves. So not only the R&D department, but using the other external parties, that they can make the profit. Winner is who gets the innovation to the market first. Winner who gets the innovation to the market first is the winner. But to develop the better business model is to more important than to be the first in the market model. So then you can understand what is the business model in the next lessons. So if they have the good, develop the better business model, so normally call Medico business model with the great innovation is better than the great business model with the Medico innovations. That means if the innovation is not the great one, but if the business model is great, the from that business model the company can make a huge profit. But the product is great, but the medico innovation means the medico business model means the business model is not so strong. In such case, the company can will not be able to make a huge profit. So the business model is the most important part. Whatever the innovation, whether it is great or else the medico innovation, the business model must be a great one. They will win if they develop the most of the ideas. So they will win if they make the best use of internal and external ideas. The company can win whether when they encourage the external parties as well as internal parties to do the innovations. So they must have their intellectual property under control so that their competitors can make advantages. So they can get the intellectual property right to the company, and they must be able to profit from other using their intellectual property, and they must license the intellectual property if it supports other business model also. Then they can sell their sell their intellectual rights to the different companies and earn more. And also examples for this: nuclear industry, mainframe computers, opening PCs and movies, mostly internal ideas, mostly external ideas, low workforce mobility, high workforce mobility because they have to use the in-house developers. They can use both in-house and outsiders. Low role for the venture capital. Active venture capital is there because venture capital company, if they use the venture capital, if they have the venture capital department, and they can promote the external parties. Few new business, weak ones, many new businesses because external parties will introduce new product and services. Here, close innovation, actually universities are not important as the source of ideas because they are not going to get the external idea. Universities and other research labs are not important as the source ideas, the people. So when you consider these company innovation potentials, we can find different potentials. Company with the higher innovation potential source high, we can find these following areas: strategy and planning, marketing, technological process, quality management, logistic, human resources. These areas may have a potential to introduce new innovation. For marketing, consider that with the introduction of the internet and World Wide Web technology, the company can introduce the e-marketing website to get the global customers, and also they can do a certain innovative way. So this I explained the innovation dimensions today, and modified technology and new technology, modified benefit for the user, new benefit for the user, incremental, tech-oriented, new applications, and radical innovation. So consider that radical innovation, using new technology, the users will be able to get the new benefit. So this is the most important part. So radical and incremental innovation. So consider radical and incremental innovation. Radical and incremental. Radical, new technology and new benefit. Incremental, modified technology and modified benefits. You can see this car, that three wheels, actually three wheels in a different form, only three wheels. The radical, new technology, modified benefit for the user. Radical innovation upsets the organization of the industry existing business model. Disruptive technologies displace the established technology. And radical innovations, when you once again go to this slide, you can see radical, that is new technology, technology and new innovation. So when you go to this one, radical innovation, and also the next one, a broader classification of this radical innovation, it is sometimes new to the world. Breakthrough the innovation and discontinuous innovations are synonymous. And also the term disruptive technology is used to identify the radical innovation. So disruptive technology, always that is introduce the new technology. And these are some examples of the radical innovation. Rather than in the queue to withdraw the money, you can use the ATM card. And to count the money, you can introduce the machine to count the money. When you go to the bank, you can find this type of a machine. So rather than having the hard copies of the book, you can use the e-books and save in the computer and use whenever you want. The radical innovation can be defined as the innovation with one or more of the following characteristics: an entirely new set of performance features, an improvement is non-performance features of 5 times or greater, a 30% or greater reduction of cost, and changes the basis of competition. So these are these characteristics can be found. Then the incremental innovation. So incremental innovation, one of the good example is the processor development. Processor. Now you are using the i5 or i7, Core i5 or Core i7. Now when you consider before the Core i3, the dual core processors were there. Before the dual core, you could see if the Pentium company introduced the Pentium 4, Pentium 3, Pentium 2, then 8086, 8086, 8088. Likewise, you can find the gradually development of the technology and introduce the modified product. Modified processor. Modified processor means when you analyze the processor, you can get the high efficiency as well as sometimes in a lesser price also. Exploit existing form of the technologies, and it either improves upon something that already exists or reconfigure an existing form of the technology. So when you analyze this processor technology, you can understand this incremental innovation. So industry timeline for the radical and incremental innovation, performance, cost and improvements, and time. When you consider time, you can find the slight improvements, and so sometimes you can find a huge gap between the next step. This is called the radical innovation. From the Pentium series, introducing the dual core, quad duo and dual core series. From this quad duo and dual core series, improve the I series. I series introduce I series and I3, I5, I7 likewise. This is called the radical innovation. These are small incremental improvements. So when you consider the automobile market, automobile industry also, you can find some incremental innovations as well as in some radical innovations. Here you can see different technology. And also another one is the electric bulbs. Now you can see uh, the bulb with the filament and CFL bulb, compact fluorescent light. CFL also use. CFL has a less power consumption than the filament bulb. And then after that, the gradually introduced the LED bulbs also, light emitting diodes. Using the diodes introduces LED. LED has less power consumption than the CFLs also. So gradually, this is also incremental innovation. So what are the characteristics of these successful innovations? One is systematic collection of all impulses, urges that could lead to the innovation, and creativity of the employees, as well as ability to evaluate the possibility of the innovation ideas, ability to explain the evaluation of the ability to evaluate the possibility of innovation ideas, and good teamwork. They must have a good teamwork and project based approach. I explained earlier also, and cooperation with the external experts. Also, this I explained earlier. The proper rate of risk taking, and employees' motivation and continued education, as I explained all those things in the previous lecture also. And so these are some example of this innovation types. Technology. The Walmart is in the Fortune 500 company list. Walmart is the number one. So this Walmart supermarket chain has introduced the innovative inventory management system using the RFIDs. So that is the world famous inventory management system, and they use the new technology to introduce that. That will be a time saving method, and wherever the item is stored, that can be traced within a few seconds time. So that is the most important feature of those inventory management system, stock management system. And also aircraft industry also, we can find some new innovations. Then 4Ps also I explained. Product innovation, that is improve the current products that is already offered to the user. You can consider the wired earphone set with the Apple AirPods. You need not to have you can't find any wires, and very convenient and sophisticated, but not cheap, a little bit expensive. And process innovation innovates the way to which products are created and or delivered to the user. That is process. And Position innovation means this involves relocation of the user's perception about a certain product. So, relocation of the user's perception, that means the brand and brand name, you have to understand what is brand and brand name. Brand name is a hook where the brand is hang in a customer's mind. So the can be change the perception of the production. How can change? By improving the quality and using the different technology and at using the sophistication of using that product, user friendliness and other things, and durability. By improving those characteristics, the innovation means the position can be relocated to the user's mind. And paradigm innovation, this relates to the mental this relates to the mental model which defines what a certain business is all about, business world in redefined. So these are the four innovations. And the when you want to innovate something, you will have to follow these rules: research and discovery, development, patenting and approval, and production, marketing, and adoption. So we'll discuss these process in the next classes. Okay, thank you very much for the lecture, and